This is a cautionary tale, so you don't make the same mistake I made. I had this old phone that had a cracked screen that I wasn't using for anything, and I thought, hey, let's try setting up as a security camera for my house. So I loaded up some streaming software so I could just put it in the window of my front of my house. So I literally just duct taped it to the window and plugged it into the wall, and it was there for a couple of weeks, and I would just stream the video to another machine that was running a motion software that would just record only when there was motion coming in through that stream, and it worked great. But the phone obviously is not in very good condition, and it was looking kind of bloated. There is a lot of heat coming in through that front window, so I don't know if it was from the heat distorting it, but I didn't want to start a fire, and so I decided I'm just going to take the battery out. It's nice to have the battery in there as like a battery backup. If the power goes out, the camera would still be recording, but I didn't want to start a fire, so I thought just take the battery out and use USB to power it. And so I popped it open. It was already actually expanding on the front here, so I just pulled up the screen. The battery was there, and I snipped the ribbon cable. Now it won't start. It gets to this loads, the boot screen here, and every once in a while it just restarts. I just assumed that a phone would be able to run off the power supply without a battery. I've since Googled it, and it seems like you should be able to do it. One thing I read said you need at least 2 amps coming out of your charger, which the power supply to this USB cable says it's supplying 3 amps. I've tried a few different chargers and wall plugs. I've also seen videos where people actually wire directly into the battery connectors, although that was a very old post. It didn't have a date. I hate posts that don't have dates online, but it was clearly a Samsung from probably 10 years ago, and one with a removable battery, normally, and they just wired into the connections on there. But I just wanted to let you guys know that if you decide to pull the battery out of a phone and think you're just going to run it off a USB cable, it may be a little more difficult than you might think, and so this phone is basically useless now, because this phone, I could get a brand new one for 50 bucks. How much is a battery going to cost me to put a new battery in here into a cracked phone? It's not worth buying a new battery. So just think about that. If you're thinking about using an Android device as some sort of gadget around your house, and you think that you can just pull the battery out, you can't. Well, you can, but there might be more you need to do than just that. So you have been warned.